Hello, my name is Caitlin Carlock, and I chose to do my book report on My Heart Defined by Elin Annalise. My Heart Defined is an own voices story that explores disability, identity, asexuality, romance, and true crime in a fast-paced fiction novel. It was published in 2020, and the story centers around Kara, who was bitten by a deer tick 3 years ago, which led to the development of chronic Lyme disease, and brain inflammation, which led to obsessive compulsive disorder, or OCD. Just before she was bitten by the tick, she met Damien at a retreat for those on the asexual spectrum. Damien is the first and only person that she has shared a romantic connection with, and when she sees Damien has moved to her town 3 years later, Kara's torn between her desire to reestablish their connection and the anxiety produced by her OCD being around others. A supporting cast of characters drives the plot as a local 19-year-old girl has gone missing, and the true crime-obsessed Kara and Damien decide to investigate further, getting into adventures that Kara did not believe she was capable of. Per Goodreads, I would give this book about a 3 out of 5 star rating. The plot was not extremely well developed or paced in a balanced way. The exposition lasted until about halfway through the page count, and there were several grammar and formatting issues throughout the novel. Regarding formatting, the point of view changes randomly, and italics symbolize the past, so there would be full chapters in italics. The major draw of this novel is the representation of asexuality, Lyme disease, POTS, PANS, and OCD. Asexuality was explored in a nuanced way that detailed different aspects of the asexual spectrum, including aroace, demisexual, asexual, and aromantic. This includes multiple characters that were on the A spectrum, and they were each given complex relationship with others. This includes Jana, Kara's best friend, being a gray sexual, Kara and Damien being demisexual, and Kara's best friend, Raymond, also being on the ACE spectrum. In addition, the depiction of chronic illness was nuanced and followed how Kara navigates the National Health Service in the UK, negativity online and in person for having Lyme disease, which is a controversial disease in the UK and in the US, her relationships with others, and the physical and mental limitations that come with having a chronic illness. True crime laid the foundation of the plot and is how Kara and Damien are connected. However, because of this, true crime is often treated as a plot device and was not given much depth or nuance. At many times, characters were insensitive to the subjects of true crime, and in addition, Kara, the main character's self-talk was quite negative throughout the novel, and she also experiences some extremely negative talk from others and discrimination, which could be triggering. Much of the novel is told through Kara's point of view, and the reader is given insight into her thoughts, particularly her obsessions and compulsions related to contamination and how that influences all parts of her day. Contamination OCD is one of the most represented types of OCD, but the intimate view of Kara's thoughts and experiences with hallucinations and flare-ups in brain inflammation because of Lyme adds to another dimension of OCD representation that we're not used to seeing. So regarding how disability is addressed, as I mentioned, My Heart Defined addresses Lyme disease, POTS connected to Lyme, PANS, which is brain inflammation, and OCD. Looking further at the use of technology by those with disabilities, we see that technology use is widespread and helps connect the characters with disabilities to one another. Kara and her close friend Raymond met through an online support group for those with Lyme disease. They maintain their long-distance friendship through using communication technologies, including calling, texting, and video calling. Assistive devices do not play a central role in the story regarding Kara's disabilities. The technology used in the story is current and reflects modern societal trends regarding smartphone use, social media, and podcast entertainment. So, regarding the diffusion of innovations, the diffusion of innovation theory explains how new ideas and technologies spread through a population over time. The categories include innovators, early adopters, early majority, late majority, and laggards based on individuals' willingness to adopt new technologies, according to James W. Deering and Jeffrey G. Cox in Diffusion of Innovations Theory, Principles, and Practice. The adoption of new technologies plays a central role in My Heart to Find, as Cara is seeking treatment for Lyme disease in the UK under the National Health System, or NHS, which is controversial in the UK and is involved in political debate. Due to the controversy surrounding chronic Lyme disease in the UK, there are limited treatment options for Cara. And in order to get treatment with antibiotics, she is forced to see private specialists, the cost of which is burdensome and creates tension between Cara and her family. Cara is the early adopter. She's in the early adopter group regarding technology and treatments. She is motivated to get better and seeks medical attention from specialists, and that includes participating in clinical trials. She also creates a true crime podcast with Damien and quickly explores and learns how to make a podcast with him, so adopting that technology. The NHS lags behind other countries, such as the US and Germany, regarding testing and treatment for Lyme disease, placing them firmly in the laggards category regarding the diffusion of innovations. The NHS would not test Cara for encephalitis or brain inflammation, and denies that she has chronic Lyme, as they do not have the most up-to-date tests to detect the bacteria responsible for it. Instead, the NHS diagnosed Cara with POTS, a collection of symptoms, rather than addressing the cause of her symptoms, and referred her to a psychiatrist. Her psychiatrist treats her as a hypochondriac and tells Cara that she's not actually sick, but wants to be sick. There is a large amount of medical gaslighting that happens in the novel that reflects the experience of those with invisible or controversial and understudied disabilities. So, regarding social support, Cara has complex relationships with others in the novel and has two best friends who make up the majority of her support system, Jana and Raymond. Jana is the only one of Cara's high school friends who has stuck with her through her getting sick. When Cara's specialist who treats her got into a car accident and was no longer able to help her, just as Cara's symptoms were flaring, Cara's forced to switch to a new, more expensive doctor if she would like to continue treatment. Cara cannot afford the treatment, and Jana steps in by creating an online fundraising campaign to help raise money so that Cara can be treated. Jana also defends Cara to their other friends when they alienate her and do not believe that Cara is sick, but that she is making it up for attention. Raymond is Cara's other best friend and also has Lyme disease, OCD, and is on the A spectrum. Raymond and Cara are able to talk about their mistreatment from the NHS in addition to the symptoms that they share. Raymond often acts as a supporter for Cara and prompts her to not listen to the anxieties that are created by her OCD. He urges Cara to make a move with Damien and encourages Cara to be positive about her future. When Cara feels alone, Raymond is who she turns to. Cara's mother is also a major support in her life, though they do often not talk about Cara's disability. Cara's mother takes her to appointments and is there and sees everything. Cara's relationship with her family is strained due to the expensive nature of Cara's treatment and the isolation that is brought about by Cara's contamination-based OCD. Cara is anxious when she is in the car with her family, can no longer take care of her dog, no longer spends any time with her younger sister, gets frustrated with her younger sister when she touches anything of hers, and is not able to touch any of her family members. And this prompts an extremely strained relationship with her dad because of financial sacrifices that the family has made in order to pay for Cara's treatment while Cara is unable to work. due to her extreme fatigue and exhaustion, in addition to contamination-based OCD. Kara's mother is a silent supporter, and Kara is able to be her most vulnerable with her mom. For example, when Kara saw the neighborhood cat in her room, she froze in fear and called for her mother. When her mother came, it was revealed that Kara was experiencing a hallucination, something that is extremely stigmatized, and Kara is terrified to admit to others. Her mother pushes for Kara to get better treatment and to be seen by the new doctor, though he is more expensive, and advocates for her within the family. In my professional opinion as an LIS professional, I would recommend that others proceed with caution with My Heart to Find. I do believe that the book would help the reader build an understanding or empathy for those with disabilities. The disability representation was really wonderful, in addition to the representation of those on the ACE spectrum. However, because of the lower quality of writing, the formatting, and grammatical errors, I would advise that readers proceed with caution and remember to use critical thinking skills, particularly when reading about all of the negative self-talk, in addition to what others tell Kara regarding her disability and her faking it, in addition to the topic of true crime and how that's treated. One formatting issue that interferes with the accessibility of the novel is the heavy use of italics. In this novel, italics signify the past, particularly the retreat that Kara, Jana, and Damien attended for those on the asexual spectrum, which is referred to often and often takes up multiple chapters in italics. Italics can be difficult for those with cognitive and learning disabilities, such as dyslexia, for those individuals to read. So that somewhat interferes, or doesn't interfere, but presents as a barrier to accessibility. As someone with dyslexia, I found it a bit difficult to read some of those chapters. However, the nuanced exploration of the healthcare system for those with controversial, hidden, or under-researched disabilities, the diversity of asexual representation, and the disability representation was well-researched and impactful. I would recommend a close reading of the book / having a book club. The characters are not perfect, nor is the writing perfect. However, having conversations around the topics of disability, sexuality, healthcare, and relationships could promote very rich discussion rooted in empathy for those with disability. Thank you so much, and I have linked my references to this video as well. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day.